Welcome, everyone, to Inside the Market. My name is David Jacobson, and I am here with your favorite valuation guy. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good morning. Hello, everybody.
It's been a while.
It has.
You know, we've gotten millions and millions of emails. We've gotten some emails, and you don't even know this, but on the YouTube channel, because I was informed, seriously, that you guys actually like the show. It's like, where did you guys go? We've been gone for about a month, and people have missed us. You know, some probably more than others. But it was nice. You know, what are you doing your next show? What's going on? Is everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. So we are here. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for looking for us, because we really appreciate that. That's nice.
Yeah.
So we're here to do Inside the Market. It is the end of the year. We wanted to plan this big end, like doing all of these outtakes. We have a lot of funny outtakes before this thing starts, because whatever, we'll get to them one day, and you'll get a kick out of it. But we didn't have a chance to do that. So what we're going to do today is just do an end of the year, a quick review of maybe 10 cars that we've liked recently that finished on Peak Car Market. Talk about the market a little bit, because the last time that we actually did a show, things were crazy, and we are happy to report, or I don't know if we're happy about it, but the market has maybe even gotten even a little crazier.
Yeah, it's got a healthy pulse on it, and that's what people are asking. Is it going to stay? Is it going to crash? But it just seems very healthy.
Healthy.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what side of the equation you're on. But
that's true, especially with these 993s. It's just one after another, after another, after another, and they're all, it's just holding those prices. I still remember the first one that sold for like 140 grand. We're like, wow, that did a lot of money. And then after that, it was just, hit after hit.
Yeah, no, and it's been really incredible, because we are saying to ourselves now is, do they come down? As this last year, I think what's happening now is, besides the world, everything is hot, right? There's no inventory of car dealerships. There's no sign of recovery yet regarding inventory. The supply chain and probably every aspect of our lives has been interrupted. So it's very, very, very odd what's going on right now. But also, in addition to that, the 993 especially, is I'm seeing more appreciation than ever before for the last year.
Yes.
The last air-cooled car. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I do. And it's funny what you say about the supply, because I think that plays a role. But I also get the pulse I get from a lot of people who are buying new cars. They're just sick of it. They're sick of walking into a dealership and, trying to, they're asking for $10,000 over a sticker on a Hyundai. So people are sick of that. And I've already, I was just shopping for a car this weekend for my wife's parents. And, I already got a guy, discounting a car $1,500 off stickers. So, they want to move cars. You know what I mean? It's still going to be, no rebates and no crazy deals for a while, but people are getting sick of these markups, because they know in 2-3 years they're going to be killed in the car when they want to get out of it. They know that.
Can you imagine spending $25,000 over MSRP for a Ford Bronco?
No.
What's going to happen to that person in a year and a half from now?
I can't imagine that. Especially when last year someone I know bought a beautiful brand new Defender for $70,000. Now you got to pay $90 for a Bronco. It was like, give me a break. So it's one thing that a 993 went from, like a C2 went from 110,000 to 180,000 or whatever. It's a lot different to absorb and understand that than it is spending 30 grand over list for a car that is going to get crushed. It's a matter of time. Like these could sustain. And you know what? Well, that's what I was going to say next, was that these cars, it may not be because of the shortage, it just means because there's really no more sports cars. Yeah, I mean, and people are starting to realize that. They're realizing that, all the electric and all this stuff, so this is like their last chance, because why else would, 997s and some 991s, everyone knows, if you got 120 grand, like we sold a 991 yesterday for about $120,000, if you have that money, you could spend another 10 and get a 992. You know what I mean? So people are spending so much money on these cars, I think, because they realize they're not going to be able to get one.
See, that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, we've always had a little bit of that going on, that these are the last of the air-cooled, the last of the sports cars, the last of the
petroleum cars and so forth. But
right.
maybe it is really settling in now. You know, maybe it was even accelerated by what's happened the last 2 or 3 years, where people are appreciating. You know, you're appreciating things more than you ever did, right? Your family, your friends, the things, your freedom to go outside and live your life. And I think maybe a lot of people really appreciating the other things, like cars and things that give them a getaway, and I think it's accelerated the appreciation for these cars. Not just Porsche, but even all sports cars. People going back to their teens or their 20s when these cars were on the road, and I think
exactly.
nostalgic. So I think there's a lot of things at play here. That are keeping this thing up.
And there's one final one too that I've been hearing from a lot of people, which we're not here to give financial advice, but a lot of people I think are not even buying these for the love of the car. They're being advised to have their money in assets, and people think these are good assets. I'm hearing that from people. I'm hearing that from people. Like, you talk to a guy who has a car that was worth $200,000, and he's getting $300 today, and he's like, "No, if I don't get $350, I'll keep it because it's going to be $500 in 2 years."
Can you imagine?
And that's what they think. And to me, I think that's a little outlandish, but it's possible. What do I know?
It's outlandish.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's happening. It's bringing all types of people that weren't in the car hobby or car collecting world back in, so supply and demand and so forth. Hey, listen, nobody understands it, appreciates it more than we do, because we have been 993 doing great numbers, justifiably so. We've had a big gamut too. We've had some great ones. We've had some ones that we've had ones that are drivers, and some that are, I'm going to go into a car, not the first car, the second car here that has blown people away. I'm going to get right to it. How about if we get to it?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to go through some cars that have sold over we're not going back to the beginning of the year or last year. This is really just some cars we picked. You and I sat down and picked some cars that we could share. And the reason we're doing this is we could talk about the market. We could talk about these particular cars because they're very juicy. But we can also talk about just about the market and how that car fits into what's going on. So here is, this just happened to end yesterday. This is a beautiful 2014 50th anniversary. Anniversary cars, hot.
Yeah.
This car, these wheels, hot. 7-speed or manual transmission, hot. There's just a lot of stuff going on over here, Jim, with this car, right?
There is. And these have been... They've experienced a 20% increase roughly, over the past 6 months. We sold one, I remember over a year ago, we sold one with like 1,000 miles on it for $120, and that was a record. And now he got a 24,000 mile car for $140. But we also sold a car with mileage like this for like $127 a few weeks ago too. So, a lot of people get stuck on a number. It's important not to do that. It's you get anything in that 130 range for one of these. I think that's what the money is. This one did really well because two guys really wanted it.
What's funny is even the designation back here, the 50th anniversary, is just really cool looking on this car.
Well, we were saying this yesterday. I love this car.
It's a beautiful car, but it's these little things that mean so much. Again, Porsche doesn't need my approval, but kudos to them for just really making these little details stand out and mean so much. This is absolutely a gorgeous car, and if I can zip, here you go. Let me back that up and see what I'm talking about. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, even on the Audi, when you see the red S for the S4, when they do the red on it just looks cool.
Yeah. Only when the factory does it.
Oh, in the factory.
I can't stand when people paint their S's red.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
Because I've seen the S's in the back of like a C4S, like a 996, and it's yellow, like on a blue car.
Yeah.
And it looks kind of cool, but the fact that the factory didn't do it kind of diminishes its coolness.
Yeah.
But look at the lines on this car. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful car. Anyway, let me get to the interior real quickly so you can see the red calipers. Wow.
By the way, his photos didn't hurt.
No, these photos did not hurt. And again, don't get me started with the photo lessons yet. We'll do that after, because nobody can deal with me with that. But here, look at that houndstooth Pepita interior. Beautifully crisp done. And again, there's that beautiful 911 50th in the seat. So we all know this special car. This car did what, Jim? Did 146,500. And it ended yesterday. The seller did well on this car, but the buyer has nothing to complain about. He has an absolute stunning automobile, limited production. What they make, about 1,900, just shy of 2,000 of these, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a super low volume production car, but what was it, like 1,950?
63, I think, for the first year of the 911s, right?
Hey, 1963.
Yeah, there you go. So that's that. And then we're going to bounce over to what happened a couple of days ago. This car is absolutely stunning. When you look at it, what are you seeing? You're seeing like RS wheels, 993 RS wheels on a beautiful 993 C2S, right? That's what you're looking at here. Look how fat and beautiful that is. There's got to be a little bit of some spacers in there, no?
Yeah, or they could be
wider tires.
They could be the wider wheels from like the 964 RS, the 3.8. It's possible. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, gorgeous. Actually, these are inverted here. These are the ones that are on the 993 RS. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, gorgeous car. This was again, this was very, very special in the sense that it was a 4-liter. It was done by Rothsport, right?
Yeah.
And the owner, if you read the comments in here, talk about getting support from the community. First of all, look at that. All right, the plenum, gorgeous looking motor. But when you see the comments that are in here, one guy after another, just first of all, look at the war that happened at the end of this auction. It was fun to watch. And then also you have all these people that were making comments about, they see the car, they know the car, how great the car is, and that surely doesn't hurt at all. And I'm sorry to be spinning, if you're on the computer here, I'm driving people crazy. But look at this car. Look at the stance. Look how well done it is. The yellow calipers. Just really.
Yeah, just to be clear, this is a car to be driven. This almost, if you have Gunther Works car and a Singer car, this is almost in that league, and that's why it did this price. This doesn't mean if you have a black C2S, it's worth $300,000.
No,
yeah,
please.
A lot of people don't understand that.
Please, no. This car sold for $295,000, and it's all because of what was done to the car.
Right.
Yes, obviously a C2S is going to be a very, very desirable car, but this car has it all going on. RS interior, the 4-liter motor, the who did the build itself, the provenance of the car, the interior is done beautifully. First of all, look at this car. I mean, I believe worth every penny. Every
100%,
penny.
Yeah. And you skipped the wait. I mean, if you built that, you'd spend either that or more, and you'd be waiting probably 2 years.
Yeah. And we do a lot of social media, and I love the comment. It's just amazing, the comments on there from somebody saying that having no clue about it and making a comment like, well, "This is worth what? Who would ever pay that money?" to someone saying that was a deal.
Right.
It's just amazing the difference.
So you could tell who's been through it and who hasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of and it's funny because you watch the guys that know what they're looking at here and what they love and how they respond to someone that has no clue what they're looking at. People that don't know what they're saying shouldn't really obviously make a comment because it's always good when you have a little education. But look at this. I just want to go to the interior for a little bit here, and then we'll move on. Just look how crisp and nice this interior is. Look at the steering wheel. No airbag, just a beautiful look.
Yeah, and I like the yellow accents.
Yeah, it's just really, really, really beautiful. Nice job. Again, I'm jealous. When this car sold, I was dreaming of it in my garage. It's not, but we're very happy it was sold on P-Car Market, and someone's going to enjoy it. And the seller is very happy, and that's how you get victories. All right, now you have here is, this is not all about 993s, I promise, but this one here is, we're going to finally finish with this one for the 993s. This is a 98 last year of the air-cooled S. This was a very special car, Jim. Why don't you take us through why?
Yeah, well, it's perfection, and it's a collector's dream, I guess, is the way to sum it up. A very long-term ownership. Could have been a one-owner car from what I recall, but I spoke with this gentleman, and this car is not only 11,000 miles and perfect, but the options on here you never see on a 993. Like, it has red stitching on the seats. That's like you see in all the new cars, and it doesn't sound like a big deal, but nobody had that on a 993. I can't even remember the last time I saw that in person.
See it here.
Yeah, it has the hardback seats. It has carbon. This interior is almost like a little mini Turbo S. You know what I mean? It has the aluminum gauges, all that stuff. Factory aero kit, so it wasn't put on at the dealer. A lot of these, the aero kit was put on at the dealer. And then also the calipers on the C2S, they came black. These are red from the factory. A lot of people paint them after the fact. So it just has a cool factor to it. It was a great seller. The car is obviously great, and this is what I feel the car is worth. I mean, this is about right for all the cars we see doing 140 to 170, and then what this car brings to the table on top of those cars. I think this is exactly what this car is worth.
It's just great.
Yep.
Greatness, like you had said a few times. The word great. I mean, presentation, the seller, the car, the history.
And he worked for Porsche. This guy, he sold he imported parts for the factory.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's why he ordered it like this. He was a knowledgeable. This is one of those situations where like I get to learn from people. This guy was a smart guy, and he was embedded in this world, for a long time.
So it's always nice to have a little bit of insight when ordering these. Mm-hmm. Everyone today is trying to do this for 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Everyone's buying these PTSs. Mm-hmm. It's funny because when we ordered we have our touring, our 992 touring. We went in there. You went with me? Oh, you could. You were sick. You were sick. That's right. Dylan came with me, and we were all set to do this PTS and all this great stuff and this exclusive interior. And then all of a sudden the Pepita wasn't available, and I could have held it off 6 months to possibly get that, and I ended up doing a chalk. Mm-hmm. And
which is not a mistake.
No, it's gorgeous.
But they drive you crazy.
It's gorgeous.
They drive you crazy.
It's just that I was trying to create something that 30 years from now when I'm dead, that someone is going to be able to say, "Ooh, this guy was a smart guy when he built this car." But 30 years old. Hopefully 30 years. I got 30 years. But anyway, gorgeous car. Thank you for bringing it to us, seller, and thanks for the bidder. Again, beautiful car. All right. Okay, these cars,
they've been quiet.
Very strange.
This is the first one to pop up in a while. They've been in the 300s, and now we knew they were worth more. So, yeah.
This car puzzles me, and generally here's why. It's everyone knows, right? This is a 997.2 Gt3 Rs, last of the stick, last of the Metzger, the end of a major era.
Fastest manual road 911 made by the factory.
Yeah. I mean, 500 made.
It's over 600 horsepower.
Over 600 horsepower. It just it checks almost every box, but not to me. We have a 4-liter, and we have this car as well. And to me, there's not even a comparison.
There's not, but I like this car a lot more than you do.
There's a lot of people that like this car more than I do. I am not a turbo guy. You know that. I mean, no matter at all. But when you drive that 4.0, mm-hmm. It's glorious. There's not even words to describe the feeling. And then I drive this, and it's like, it's
a turbo.
It's a turbo.
Yeah.
But
this is a high speed, racetrack Autobahn car.
That's exactly what I was going to go to as a second point. This car must be driven on the right roads in the right conditions. Because if you don't bring to me, if you don't bring a car near its limits, you're never gonna have fun with it. But if you can't bring it near its limits, it has to have a lot of aspects and a lot of sounds and feeling at lower speeds that can give you a little bit of a thrill. Like the 4-liter, you could drive at 80 miles an hour. You could even sit at a red light and listen to it and rev it, and then get going a little bit and rev it up. This car, you need to have just road in front of you. You need a track. You need something to make this thing fun. And don't kill me if you disagree with me. Then that's what life is all about.
But there's a novelty in having. This is like one person living in a mansion. Yeah, I mean, you don't need it. There's nobody else there, but you can sit there and say, "Wow, look what I have." I mean, that's what this is, because it really is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable.
And to totally contradict myself, mm-hmm. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is unbelievable. I mean, when I look at it and I walk by it, and I think of what they've accomplished with this car and what it means, again, with the last of the Metzger, last of the stick, and blah blah blah. It really is a phenomenal, historic, incredible piece of machinery, because that's the end right there. When you see the 4-liter and this standing next to each other, don't you have an unbelievable feeling of like just the culmination of something great that just ended after that, but it's okay, you know what I mean? So listen, and a friend of ours, Bobby, we took this thing for a ride, and he had a 288, he has an F50, he has all these cars, and he's a driver, and he loves a little bit of everything, and we're underwhelmed when we drive the car. However, I get it. And I also, listen, and why is the 4-liter 750,000 if it had this mileage, and this car 550,000 when they made 200 less of these?
Yeah,
I mean, there's a reason for that, right?
I get it.
So, whatever, I can go on and on. But this car, again, having said all that, again, totally contradict myself, this car is underpriced. Mm-hmm. The turbo world, the people love turbos, and I've had a lot of debates about that. This car with 500 made for what it is,
you could see this being $1 million car easily.
I can see this being way over $1 million car. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Way over $1 million. Way over $1 million. Maybe not by February 1st, but it's going to be there. Okay, remember, mark this calendar down that you heard it here. This car, is going to be over $1 million. This car, probably one of the best investments that you can ever get. Was this car a year ago and still today, but it's going to be over 600, 650. Like that, and it should be, and it's still not going to be a horrible car to buy because of what I just said. So just one guy's opinion. And
they made 100 less of these than the 4.0, and they're numbered, which is interesting. The 600 4 liters.
600 or 700?
600.
Oh, that's right. 700.
400 of these.
700 RS.
500 of these.
Yeah, 700 RS Americas, and I keep forgetting that. 600 4 liters and 500 of these.
There's only 700 RS Americas. I didn't know that. They're not numbered. It's interesting.
Yeah.
There's no number on the dash right now. These have numbers on the dash.
No, yeah.
Which is, Porsche guys like that. Yeah. I dig that.
Everybody likes numbers on the dash. Either that or an anniversary. Okay, so go out and buy one of these. So, and there may be another one of these coming on really soon.
Possibly.
Stay tuned. All right. Then we're going to switch over here to really a lovely car, Jim. I know that you have a special place for this car. I'm not a big yellow guy in certain cars. I know you really like this car. 79 turbo, paint to sample back in 1979. It makes this even more special. It has a great history, great provenance, 15,000 miles, original miles. It's an all-original car with some great history.
Yeah, and not only was it original, it looked brand new. I mean, when I walked over to this car, I said, "Oh, someone restored it." And then, I started paint metering it because it was here, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "This is actually an original car. This is unbelievable."
So we first saw this car,
and these have been depressed a long time, right? The 930 turbos. There was a period where you could buy them under $100,000, for a decent car. Not one like this, but still, this would have been like maybe 130.
Yeah.
Everything got so cheap.
So
and this was, now these are back.
They're back.
Yep.
So, you and I first saw this car in Manhattan at a Porsche event.
It was either this one. I know we saw this at a service shop.
It was this car.
It was this car. Okay,
yeah, we saw this because I remember that event was. What was that event for? Was it the millionth car?
That was the more. No, it was that Irish green.
The millionth 911.
Yeah.
They had in Manhattan, and I know Seinfeld's Riviera Blue C4S was there.
And Tony Hatter was there.
It was a pleasure meeting Tony, who was the designer of the 993. For those of you that don't know, and these Carrera GT. I mean, talk about a resume. So again, beautiful car. This particular car, I just want to show you the interior.
This car had everything going for it. Had the documentation, had the rare color, had the condition. It even had a full engine out reseal because, the person was very diligent. It got leaks over the years and he wanted to make it perfect. And,
yeah, that's the key. You took a car that has this mileage, this condition, and you do the engine and make it right.
This is a car you never sell. Truth be told, the only reason this car got sold is the gentleman passed away. I mean, this is one of those cars that you just don't get rid of.
Wow. So good. Congratulations to the new owner of this car.
Yep.
The car did 250,000, completely justifiable, and what else can you say about that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, GTI. All right, this is one of the cars that pull my heartstrings, because my good friend of mine had one of these, a black one, in right outside of high school, and he loved that car. He's a muscle car guy too. He had a Camaro, had a Chevelle, and he had one of these.
This is we were just talking about with the GT2. This is more fun than having that $500,000 RS. I mean, you could drive this thing. It's just a blast.
I mean, how many of you can picture yourself sitting in that cloth seat? Right? It's you don't slide. It snugs you in. You got that stick that you rev that 4-cylinder Garuchki. I mean, it is really, really a fun car. Is there a good video in here? Can we see something?
He has a driving video. No, it's not there. It's down.
Excuse me.
You got to shut the other one off.
You don't want to hear double video? There's nothing more annoying in this world than that. You ready? This is the first video of all the cars we've shown. You believe it? That we actually have a video on. But check this out. Not the most exciting one, but these are fun cars. And for all you Porsche and all you BMW guys,
people.
I mean, this car sold for, look at this.
Come on. Look at that. You know, really, really, wow. Come on, man. 1980s. So.
And this is one of the best ones I've ever seen.
This is gorgeous.
Look at the condition of this thing.
And you can still buy one of these. Again, they're not cheap anymore. I'm not saying that.
Well, this is like collector grade. This car.
Yeah, collector grade. You could buy one of these for $5,000, you know. Yeah. But this is, you know, $30,000 for a car like this. Again, well worth it, man.
Yeah.
You know, beautiful, beautiful GTI by Volkswagen. We're gonna move on here to another killer. All right, This is a Black Series CLK 63, 2008, 4,000 miles. Again, I only say this because it's true. I'm jealous. Again, when I'm jealous when somebody wins a car, it's because I wish I had it in my garage. And the 4,000-mile car, this caliber, with these, where they're going, $168,000.
And just to shed some light, in like 2015, these were $75,000, and they were sitting on people's websites they couldn't sell.
They couldn't sell them.
And now look what happened here.
And now look what happened here. 350 made their way to the United States, but this car, look at the seats on this thing. Look at this.
You
try to get out.
It looked like it swallowed another seat.
I mean, go ahead, try to get out. It's like, go ahead, I dare you. I mean, this is incredible. An incredible automobile. If you like touring, right? Grand touring performance.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dangerous car. Let that be known. I mean, this is rear-wheel drive. It's a lot to handle. I mean, but that's the characteristic of an AMG car. It's a European muscle car. They're not Porsches.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're just nice. I mean, but this is a weird one, because this probably rides more like a Porsche. I never drove one of these. This probably doesn't have the nice Mercedes ride. I mean, this is like a real stiff car.
Look at that.
But it's the end of that, era. You can't really buy a normally aspirated AMG car after this.
Yeah.
Even though these motors had some problems, but if you're used to a Porsche, this is cheap to address. I mean, it has like the head bolt issues and some other things that you can go on the forums and find out, and you throw some money at it and then it's bulletproof. But they're not like the engine before it, the compressor motors. Those you get 250,000 miles out of them without problems.
See, that's something very important for Mercedes guys to understand. There was a kind of a change of philosophy that really created an engine that was not as durable. And again, like you said, you put some money into it. It's not the end of the world, a lot of these. But then as time goes on, you get to the newer ones, and they're almost disposable at a certain point. Yeah. But these are very, very special.
Same motor that's in the SLS. I mean, so you have some bragging rights with that engine. It's a really cool motor. It's a 6.3, and if you're a displacement junkie, which a lot of people, there's no replacement for displacement, right? So it's cool to have a 6.3.
Yes.
That's a big V8.
Yep, I agree. But this is I want to be in this car. I want to drive it. I wish we had a video. I'm sorry we don't. But next, and this car does, again, $168,000. Again, the guy did well who sold it, but the guy who bought it should do well. There's no doubt, especially on this spot.
And by the way, it sounds like a lot of money, but what you have to pay for a new AMG car that, in my opinion, is not built like this, it's a steal.
Yeah.
People paying $300,000 for a G-Wagon right now.
Right.
Or
if it's a Brabus, $400,000. Okay,
yeah.
So the world's gone crazy. So here you go, BMW. Attention, BMW buyers. This is a 2005 competition package sunroof delete E46.
And an exclusive paint.
Exclusive paint. You like that, huh?
Yep.
I mean, look at this. Look at the line. Look how smooth this car is. No roof. Look at the wheels. I mean, BMW's stance. Really, very few companies could do it like they do. Just the way this car sits. Really, really, really beautiful. Sunroof delete, 62,000 miles. Most likely one of one, even with the manual swap, which this car had. And it's not a big deal, right? You talked about this. Swapping the manual out of a BMW. I mean, turning a BMW into from an automatic to a stick is not.
Yeah, it's funny because there's so many parallels with Porsche and BMW, and then there's a lot of rules. Like in a Porsche, it would be like, it's not factory, it's not collectible, but this car did a good price. Like if this was a normal SMG competition car in a normal color, they're not anywhere near this price. They're maybe 25, 30, maybe a little over 30. This car got the premium it deserved because of the color, and the guy did the manual swap because this is meant to be driven. And for those who don't realize it, I mean, this is one of the closest things you could buy to a 911 that's not a Porsche. An M3 is just. It's a driver's car. It's got the German build quality. It's an amazing car, and they're bargains. And people are starting to snatch these up now. You know, for the same reason they're snatching up older Porsches. Or you get into a new M4, and it's hard for me to go into a BMW dealer and say I don't like something, but that car doesn't do it for me yet. You know, the M2 does, but.
Yeah, I'm starting to get used to the. I'm starting actually to get used to the grill on the front. I am. Yeah. It's starting to grow on me a little bit. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's starting to grow on me, and I think it's going to grow on everyone because you know what it is that it stands out. No pun intended. It really does stand out, but it actually creates a grand entrance when you see the car.
I like it on the big cars, like the 750 and the X7. I like it. And I don't hate it on the M4. It's just I
thought I was going to hate it forever.
Yeah. It's just that, you know what it is? These cars were always bargains. Like the 911 was always a bargain for what it was. You know, like even you go back to the 991s, you can get a base Carrera for $88,000 and just be a happy person. Yep. The cars with the premiums, people are trying to get $130 for them. Like, what's the point?
Yeah,
I'll get a used GT3.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's why. That's a big turnoff.
Yeah, which is why these values stay where they are.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is this is not signal green. This is RS green.
Yeah, RS green.
All right, I didn't know that. This is a car that sold a couple of months ago, 4,000 mile, 2008 997 Gt3 RS. It really doesn't get much better than this if you want to drive his car. 997 again, last of the real sports cars. Size-wise, Metzger motor, stick, gorgeous color. I'm a black wheel guy. I think black wheels should be on every car, pretty much, unless, look at that tunnels painted in green. This is just a special car, really special car. And again, this is another car that I think was sold. The seller did well, but I think the buyer got a great car for the money. $295,000, but look what you get for that money.
And just for comparison, we sold one in black with higher miles for like $195 the other day. You know what I mean? So this is the color and the mileage.
Yes.
This is the premium this drew.
Look at that car. Beautiful. There's really not much more to say here. I mean, it's just, like you just said, color, mileage, condition, options. Beautiful car. So there you go. Next we have you picked this one out. Jim liked this car. It's a 72 hot rod. It was a T that was turned into a 3.4 liter twin plug. But some of the things, like Mark Zerlinder built the car. Tim Olson built the motor, the 3.4 flat twin. The car's 2,500 pounds. So you got the right people touching the car, building it, and then you have this stance, this look, this performance, this interior, and you wind up with this. Stunning.
Yeah, it's a nice car. And obviously people have respect for those names because you see people came in at the end in this car, they weren't bidding $250. There was some big swings taken at it at the end, and it did well and everyone was happy. But that's a nicely built, hot rod 911. It's just, I appreciate that because I just see a lot of makeshift ones. So this car has got it all going on, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. And it had a great video too. We'll just pop this up for you for a minute. You can enjoy some of the sights and sounds of the 3.4 twin plug. No music, but you see, when a car makes you feel like you want, wherever you are at, you want to leave and be in it. That's the job. That's what gets the bids. That's what the builder is looking for. Look at that. Look at that Look at that presence on the road. And I'm digging it. I'm not a big green guy, but I love that color.
Yeah, I do too.
Just put yourself in that seat right now, everybody.
That's cool.
Nice. Okay, and that car sells for $305,000, justifiably so in today's world. That's a lot of thrill, a lot of fun. It's not cheap. Don't get me wrong. It's not a 4 liter. It's a 3.4 twin plug. Yeah. So,
but this is like that earlier kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's an early. Exactly.
Yeah.
You picked this one also, Jim, because it turns out someone local here, in New York, purchased this car.
I want to laugh. I saw that car driving home from my parents' house on a Saturday morning.
Am I really going to laugh at this or no?
No, I'm just saying, but because it looks great in that picture, you have to see this thing in person. This car is striking.
Well, let's give them a little bit of insight on this car, okay? So besides how gorgeous it is, you can see it has the RS, the 991 RS, fenders. You got 13,000 miles, right? You have a 4-liter built by BGB. Can you imagine this car with a 4-liter motor, GT2 fenders, CNC ported heads, what do you got there? You got titanium, Akrapovic exhaust system, custom stage 3, BGB dyno tune, CNC ported heads, and car graphics stainless steel race manifold. I mean, this car is much more than looks. It is something that is breathtaking to look at, but can you imagine once again getting by and unleashing this thing? And this is a car, from what I understand, that you can actually have fun on the street.
Oh yeah.
But take this to the track and just unleash it and kick some freaking ass.
It was well executed, and it's a really, really cool car. It sold a couple of months ago, but it's one that stands out because you see, GT4s are special, but you see them, they're out there. This one stands out amongst the crowd.
Look, I just love these wheels. Love the wheels. Anyway, beautiful car. And as far as I'm concerned, unfortunately, if this car was sold today instead of back about 9 months ago-ish.
No, it wasn't 9 months ago, but it was like, it was
close.
It was months. It was months ago.
No,
you can see the date.
Where's the date?
Go down.
Let's see who has a better feeling of time.
See, September. It wasn't that long ago.
I guess I have no sense of time.
You've been through a lot since September. That's
yes, I've been through a lot, man. I had COVID. I got
vacations.
Yeah, vacations, trips. So, wow, that wasn't that long ago. But I still think that this car today is probably
because things are crazier now. They're crazier.
Wow.
But you got to remember, a modified car is always hard to evaluate, and a 13,000 mile GT4 could be 90 grand. You know what I mean? So it got a premium for it. I mean, obviously, when you modify a car like this, you're not getting all your money back.
No. True.
That 4-liter 993 is one of the exceptions. Those type of things, if you do them right, you can get your money back. But this is most people be afraid to touch this. Most people want this car with a CPO warranty. You know what I mean? Because they're afraid of it. You know what I mean? And then people understand that they're not afraid to buy something like this. But
well, the guy that bought this, his father-in-law is a friend of ours here.
Yeah.
And his son is a race car driver, and their car family, and they're race car drivers, and they have access to, obviously to servicing these as well as a great passion for them. So, we're going to leave it there.
Yeah.
And we're glad we got a chance to get one of these done before the end of the year. Any last minute?
No, that's it. We're looking forward to seeing what 2022 brings, and we thank everybody for being on the site and sending in the questions, the comments, listing cars, bidding, commenting. We appreciate it all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're very excited for the year that you spent with us. The last few months have even been the growth has been incredible with the amount of people on the sites. We thought at the holidays it was going to take a dip, and it has just exploded. So thank you, everyone. This is Inside the Market. Please check out our P-Car Market Live YouTube channel. We still have a bunch of episodes for This Is My Car, which has been getting some great views and some great comments if you like some really cool cars and talk to the owners and so forth. We're going to start that up again. It's been very difficult because we have been so busy trying. Don't forget, Jim and I are not hired to do these shows. Jim and I we run pretty much a good portion of P-Car Market. So to have the time to do this has been very difficult, although we do love to do this and love to share information. So again, we also know that you could spend time watching anything, and choosing to do this is greatly appreciated. We wish you and your family a very happy holiday, and we look forward to seeing you in 2022. John, thank you.
Wait, don't forget. Show them a Christmas card. And,
I was just going to put it up. It was going to be like, you ready? All I was to do is put it right.
And Auto Tiles.
Auto Tiles. Oh,
you're home for the holidays.
Thank
got
you.
Some great stuff to
Go
read.
to our Instagram. Instagram. We have this Auto Tiles, which is like just an easy read. It's kind of like on our Instagram post. Just go through the posts, and you'll see these little stories. I'm sorry. On the post themselves, you can go through the tiles, reading about the cars, BMW, Mercedes, Porsche, and so forth. Written by some of our very, very, very good writers, and some of them outsourced to some talented people. So check that out. And I was just going to put the card right here.
Homemade.
Happy holidays.